All right, so what's going on with Bitcoin today? It's been a while since I made a video, and I told myself that the next time I'm going to make a video, I'm not going to say I told you so. You guys know what I'm talking about, but at the end of the day, I did tell you so. Bitcoin is crashing really hard right now. And I warned you guys, I tried to warn you guys. I've been telling you since the beginning of February that Bitcoin was likely to drop. But a lot of people chose not to believe me. And I can understand that it's the market, it's how the market affects you. It affects your sentiment, it affects your reasoning, especially when you're in euphoria stage. A lot of people were thinking that just because Donald Trump got into the presidency and he's the very first bullish crypto president in the United States, so automatically this just means that prices are going to go up parabolically immediately. Unfortunately, as you can see, that is not the case because Bitcoin is dumping, in fact. And guess what? The charts told us way longer before it happened. So right now in today's video, I'm going to be talking about if this Bitcoin dump is going to continue and where prices could go in the long term, probably before the end of the year. I'm also going to be looking into altcoin season and telling you when I think it's going to start as well, according to the charts. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, follow, share, and do all that nice stuff. All right, so let's get to the video. All right, so let's start with what's on my screen right now. This is Bitcoin. Bitcoin has dumped by how many percent? Bitcoin has dumped by about um 16% since Sunday. And from the very top here, we've been down by a total of about 22%. So that's not so bad. It's actually pretty healthy, in fact. Believe it or not, the market had got into some sort of euphoria. This is why the prices had to recorrect. Now, this is something that happens in the markets all the time. Do not see it as the market dumping or do not see it as the beginning of the bear market. See it as profit taking and probably price consolidation because that is exactly what's happening. I've tried to explain this thing before. When you see prices correcting, when you see prices dropping a little bit, especially when we're in a bull market, it does not mean that the bear market has already started. It just means that people are taking profits. And that's what usually happens in a bull market. You do not expect prices to go up parabolically in a straight line all the time. There would always be price corrections because this market is being controlled by human beings. They must take profits. If you're up by over 500% in gains, wouldn't you take profits? I would suggest that you do anyway, but I know that majority of crypto newbies will not. Anyway, so let's get back to it. Looking at this now, we can see that Bitcoin on the daily time frame is actually like right at the bottom of this stochastic RSI. And in my opinion, this means that we could see a little bit of a price correction right now. So prices have dumped significantly well and it has kicked a lot of people out of the market. I think there was liquidity at 88k and that liquidity has been swept out already. That was what led to this dump. So the fact that that liquidity is out, yes, it means that there will likely be, consolidation. Like just like when prices go up, there will be consolidation. It's the same thing when prices go down. There will also be consolidation. So in my opinion, I think that Bitcoin is about to consolidate. Look at the stochastic RSI on the daily. We are really, really down at 0.67. This is like the lowest part of the stochastic RSI on the daily, and it's really looking pretty good. Also on the 1 day, looking at the MACD here, the MACD is really, really deep in the red. Look at this, really, really deep. And if you even go to the fear and greed index, um, look at the crypto fear and greed index. Just take a look at the crypto fear and greed index. We are really, really in fearful stage. A lot of people are scared right now of the markets. Usually this is the best time to buy, but I don't really think the dip is in yet, and I will explain that in a couple of sentences. So if you go to like the 1 week time frame, on the 1 week time frame, you can see that the MACD here is actually pretty still high. It still tells me that there's a lot of price consolidations to still come because right now we just had that bearish cross on the MACD here. You can see it. I'm not making this stuff up. Look at it here on the screen. We just had a bearish cross on the MACD, and typically this means that prices are going to drop. It has never failed. It always happens like that. Even here, just previously here, look at when we had the cross here, we had the MACD cross and prices just kept on dropping, and that's literally what is repeating right now. It's the same thing I told you guys before. We had a double top here. Look at this double top and price dropped. Same thing here, double top. You can see it's this top, price dumps. This top, price dumps. It's pretty simple. So literally I'm looking at the fact that Bitcoin is kind of approaching a point where it's going to be really, really cheap to buy, and a lot of people are going to snooze on it because they will be afraid. They will be afraid. Look at this. A lot of people are still going to be in this market sentiment situation when it is time to buy. They are going to be scared to buy. It is not me. I'm not making this stuff up. This is how the market works. No matter what I say, no matter what anybody says, this is how the markets will always work. There will always be people that will get it wrong. And it's mostly the people that don't know how to control their emotions or don't even understand how this entire game works. But yeah, this is what I think is going to happen. And Bitcoin is still in this channel. Like I said, this was the top of the channel. So if we are heading to the bottom of the channel, we are looking at around 70k. There's nothing else that is going to stop Bitcoin from dropping to this point. There's no support, no resistance, nothing. There's no level. There's no level at all holding Bitcoin right now from dropping all the way back to this level right now. So it only makes sense for Bitcoin to get back here. Now, what I think is going to happen is that we are going to establish new levels as we come back down. These levels will now act as either resistance or support as Bitcoin rises back up after this dump is done. So I'm looking at something like this for prices. We could have something like this because on the 1 day time frame, Bitcoin is kind of still bullish. What I mean by that is that we are about to have a correction on this dump. But on the 1 week time frame, it shows that we are not really done dumping. So look at this. On the stochastic RSI, we haven't had a cross to indicate that we are bullish back. We are still right at the bottom here. And this is on the weekly time frame, so we can't really hold it too much like that because it takes a while to play out. However, on the 1 day time frame, it's already happening. We are already having a correction, as you can see. So it's very possible for prices to get all the way back to this level, which is 92k, and then dump back because this is the only level where there was a lot of sales. Look at this candlestick, right? A lot of sellers came to the market at this point. So I mean, the people that made this move happened. They are not you and I. We don't have such amount of money to make this happen. And typically, when it comes to these markets and market psychology, generally speaking, the big players like to do the same thing. They like to follow each other. So basically, if there was a huge sellout at this point done by institutions or done by big players, we are likely going to see prices go back here, right? Because this is where there was a lot of sellers. We're likely going to see prices go back here and then drop again. Let's check out the 4 hour time frame to see how likely that could happen. All right, so on the 4 hour time frame, we're already establishing a double bottom, which is very, very good. And it kind of aligns with what we're saying already. Because if we're having a double bottom, then it probably means that prices are going to go back up. So if prices should go back up from here, we're looking at was this a 14% move? So it's actually worth it, especially if you're trading on 10x leverage. I'm not advising you to do anything, by the way. On the 1 hour time frame, we are also looking pretty okay, short term speaking. Like I said, this is where there were lots of sellers in the market. Look at these places where there are lots of imbalances here. Yeah, it just shows that lots and lots of sellers were in the markets, even in all of these places here. So it makes sense for prices to go back up just to find entries and dump even harder. Now that's it for Bitcoin. Generally speaking, I really think that prices are going to correct. I think I've said this about 6 times now, but I think prices are going to correct pretty soon. Lots of people will enter short position right now, but they're going to get liquidated, unfortunately. I need to drive prices back up. So let's look at altcoins right now. Now for altcoins, let's go to the Bitcoin dominance chart to see what Bitcoin is looking like on its dominance. So if you guys remember, I've talked about this Bitcoin dominance thing before and how it really affects the altcoin season, right? Look at this here. This 224 days right after the halving events. This is 224 days right after the halving events, 224 days right after the halving events. So these are the past cycles, right? 224 days after the halving events leads to altcoin season. When you see Bitcoin dominance dumping like this, it means altcoins are likely exploding. So it's the same thing that happened in the 2021 cycle when NFTs and everything were popping. It's because Bitcoin dominance was dropping really hard. And that was exactly what happened here. You can see this here right after 224 days. And also here, in the cycle that we're in right now, 224 days has already passed, and you can see that prices actually did dump, but this rally here, I see it as a manipulation and I do not take it too seriously. As you can see, there's a kind of sellout here. Look at this long wick on this candlestick, showing that a lot of sellers are in the market. It's really a lot. Look at the size of this wick. This is how many percent? Over 3% long, 4% long actually. Just the candle, just the wick of the candlestick is 4% long, and that's completely crazy. And as you can see, following it, we're having another long wick again on this candlestick forming right now on the weekly. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin dominance really drop hard as altcoin seasons will start approaching. In my opinion, there are lots of altcoins that are in really good buying positions right now, but because Bitcoin is not done dumping, we can't really go really in too deep on them. Perhaps in weeks to come, I'm going to make videos talking about the coins that I'm currently invested in. People in my private group already know this. They have seen all the projects that I'm slowly accumulating. Ever since I sold half of my crypto, I haven't really done any big purchase yet. Just been buying little by little here and there. Nothing really too big because I think it's not really done dumping yet. Also, if you look at Bitcoin's dominance on the stochastic RSI, we're about to have a bearish cross on the stochastic RSI. And if this is happening, it pretty much means that prices could dump as well. Look at when this happened here. It led to a price dump, sorry, a dominance dump on Bitcoin dominance. So hopefully we are going to have to see how this plays out on this stochastic RSI. And we can even potentially say we are having, a divergence because look at this. We're having lower highs on the stochastic RSI while we are having higher highs on price action. And if you do any form of analysis and you recognize a bearish divergence like this or any form of divergences, you know that it's really super and it's very important to pay attention to. But yeah, this is what I think about Bitcoin right now. At the moment, I'm still bearish, but not really. I'm kind of at the point where I'm looking to take opportunities. I'm looking for opportunities actually. I'm not at the point where I want to be doing massive selling right now because a majority of the sellout has already happened. If I'm looking at the chart right now, look at this. From here, we already calculated a 22% dump, right? So looking at this now from 100 and okay, let's go from 109%. From 109 up to down here, we're looking at 23% dump already. So from where we are now, which is 84K, let's see how bad it is if we got to 70K. So it's just about 15% left. We already did 25%. Would I now be selling as 15%? It doesn't make sense. However, what would make sense would be for me to maybe just play with the market, take a few short positions, but ultimately I'll be preparing to take a long position when Bitcoin approaches these levels here. So with that being said, I think I'm done with today's video. Enough rambling about crypto. Thank you for watching this video. If you like the video, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe, follow, share, and do all that nice stuff. And if you want to participate in any of my programs, then you should visit www.investorsden.com.ng, or you can simply just check the description below. All right, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.